Okay, we have further news and it's coming out of Southeast Asia. Tensions have resurfaced along the Thai-Cambodian border despite last month's US brokered peace deal. The Royal Thai Army announced that hostilities still remain after a landmine blast in Thailand's Sisaket province wounded 4 soldiers on November the 10th. Let's take a listen in to what a Thai official had to say.
ท่านนายกนะครับมันก็เป็นเพียงการเตรียมความพร้อมในกรณีที่เราอาจจะมีการคาดการณ์ถึงสถานการณ์ทั้งดีและไม่ดีนะครับในพื้นที่7จังหวัดชายแดนไทยกัมพูชานะครับมันก็ต้องมีการดำเนินการให้มันเป็นปกติเอาไว้ก่อนนะครับแต่ยังไม่ได้มีการสั่งการอะไรที่คิดว่าจะทำให้มีความตื่นตระหนกไม่ใช่นะครับเป็นเพียงการกำชับแล้วก็เป็นการเตรียมความพร้อมในกรณีมีเหตุเท่านั้นเวลาในการระงับไม่มีเดดไลน์ทางกลาโหมเนี่ยนะครับก็จะประเมินไปเรื่อยๆจนกว่าความเป็นปฏิปักษ์ของกัมพูชาจะลดลงนะครับซึ่งในวันนี้นะครับอันแสดงให้เห็นนะครับว่าการที่ทหารไทยไปเหยียบกับระเบิดที่กัมพูชาวางไว้ในดินแดนไทยแสดงให้เห็นว่าความเป็นปฏิปักษ์ของกัมพูชาที่ยังมีอยู่กับไทยเนี่ยยังคงอยู่นะครับฉะนั้นวันนี้เนี่ยยังไม่มีกรอบเวลาว่าจะดำเนินการไปอย่างไร
Bangkok has suspended implementation of the peace pact, which was signed on October the 26th in Kuala Lumpur, the mediation of US President Donald Trump and Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim. We are now joined by Ross Feingold. He's a political analyst and he joins us live from Taipei, Taiwan. Ross, thank you very much for joining us. Is this incident in Sisaket enough to possibly unravel the Trump-named Kuala Lumpur Accords signed in front of the US President?
Hopefully not. And I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on both sides from their neighbors, from ASEAN and the ASEAN chairman, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim of Malaysia, who also helped facilitate the ceasefire, as well as the U.S. government. If not President Trump directly, then other U.S. officials responsible for U.S. policy in Southeast Asia. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure from stakeholders not to let these events derail the ceasefire. Nobody in the region, there's no stakeholders in the region that are lining up for one side or the other saying, go back to war. It's really not in the interests of ASEAN, and their interests lie clearly in maintaining the ceasefire.
And Ross, but the Thai army do say that hostilities still remain. Do you think this reflects the isolated skirmishes or deeper mistrust, of course, between the two sides?
Certainly there's going to be mistrust going forward. The mistrust will not go away, but that doesn't change the pressure that is on both sides to fulfill the agreement, to pull back, to demine, notwithstanding this incident. So they will continue to distrust each other. This is a dispute with a history of so many years that the ill will that came out of this most recent fighting, however brief it was, that won't go away. And we should also keep in mind, like in many disputes around the world, the nationalism aspect, politicians will play to that in both countries as well. But I do think that the politicians as well as the military are incentivized to keep this within limits and really to try to avoid another flare-up.
Do you think, obviously, of course, these hostilities still remain. People do forget that this is a years-long conflict with deep foundations. Do you think Donald Trump, of course, having possible trade measures in the lining for Thailand and Cambodia, if they didn't agree to this deal, of course, had a serious impact in causing this peace deal, and therefore now that there are peace deals signed between the two countries, do you think that had any impact on the future of this peace deal?
Neither country wants to alienate the Trump administration or President Trump personally, so that's one more incentive that they have to maintain the peace. But really day-to-day economic reasons are a significant driver to maintain the peace. There's cross-border trade. There were Cambodians who worked in Thailand. There's international tourists who are maybe scared away from the region, and that's not something that either country really could afford. They want international tourists, especially going into the European and American winter when people might want to travel to warmer locations like Cambodia, Thailand, and Southeast Asia. So ultimately, all this leads to is both sides, I think, looking for ways to not let this incident derail the ceasefire.
Yes, Ross Feingold, thank you very much for that insight, and always a pleasure to have you on the program. Now, a South Korean